Have you ever jolted awake with your heart racing, breath short, and the feeling that you are falling through endless space? That split second where gravity takes over and everything feels out of control. That is one of the most universal and deeply unsettling dreams people have. You're walking, running, or even flying, and suddenly the ground disappears. You fall fast and hard, and right before you hit the bottom, you wake up. But why does this happen? Falling dreams aren't just random nighttime noise. They're a message, often urgent, from your subconscious. This dream might be telling you that something in your waking life is slipping from your grasp. A relationship, a job, your self-confidence, or even your sense of identity. And it's not just psychological. Falling has powerful symbolic and spiritual meanings too. In ancient cultures, dreams of falling were seen as omens, warnings of danger, dishonor, or transformation. In modern interpretations, falling may reflect deep fears. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of losing control over something important to you. But there's more. Sometimes falling isn't about fear at all, but surrender, a letting go, a necessary descent before you rise again. In today's episode of What Dreams Mean, we'll uncover why falling dreams happen, what they say about your emotional and spiritual state, and how you can interpret their message to better understand your own life path. So the next time you're falling in a dream, ask yourself, are you really falling apart? Or just falling into something new? What does it mean when you dream about falling? Falling dreams are among the most common across all ages, cultures, and life situations. They tend to appear when you least expect them, often waking you up with a jolt, heart pounding, breath caught in your throat. But behind that frightening drop lies a rich and layered meaning. Psychological and symbolic interpretation. From a psychological perspective, falling in dreams is typically linked to loss of control. It reflects a moment in your life when you feel powerless, like things are slipping through your fingers. This could relate to your career, finances, relationships, or your own self-worth. Falling also symbolizes insecurity or fear of failure. You might be afraid of making the wrong decision, disappointing others, or not meeting expectations. The dream magnifies those hidden feelings by stripping you of stability, symbolically removing the ground beneath your feet. Another key theme is anxiety, especially the kind that builds quietly beneath the surface. Falling dreams often appear when you're trying to maintain control externally while feeling chaos internally. And then there's the ego. Falling can represent the collapse of false self-image, something you built to feel safe, but that no longer reflects who you truly are. Spiritual and mystical interpretations. In spiritual terms, falling may signify a loss of alignment with your higher self. It can be a wake-up call from your inner spirit, or even from the universe, urging you to realign your purpose or release something that no longer serves you. Some spiritual schools see falling as a metaphor for surrender, a necessary letting go of ego, control, or outdated beliefs. You fall not because you're failing, but because you're being asked to trust the unknown. Mystics sometimes say that falling dreams mark the beginning of transformation. Like the Tower card in tarot, the fall can destroy the illusion, but make space for something real to rise in its place. Cultural perspectives. Across cultures, falling dreams have been interpreted in fascinating ways. In ancient Chinese dream interpretation, falling was seen as a loss of qi, life energy, or a sign that you're disconnected from your personal power. In Islamic dream analysis, falling can signify loss of status, reputation, or protection, but also an opportunity for spiritual humility and growth. In Western dream dictionaries, falling is often associated with fear of failure, rejection, or embarrassment. In African dream traditions, falling may be seen as a warning from ancestors, a call to slow down, realign, and reconnect with your roots. In indigenous American beliefs, falling can represent a moment of disconnection from nature or the spirit world, asking you to ground yourself again. In short, Falling in dreams can be terrifying, but it's rarely meaningless. It is often a mirror of your inner world, reflecting moments when you feel unsupported, overwhelmed, or on the edge of something unfamiliar. Yet within the fall lies potential to learn, to let go, to awaken, because sometimes the scariest dreams are the ones trying hardest to wake you up. What changes when the fall is different? Not all falling dreams are the same, and every variation carries its own emotional tone and symbolic message. The way you fall, where you fall, and what happens before or after the fall can reveal deeper layers of meaning. Let's explore some of the most common types of falling dreams and what they might be telling you. Falling from a great height, dreaming that you fall from a cliff, skyscraper, mountain, or even the sky usually represents a major fear of failure, especially tied to ambition, success, or control. This version of the dream often shows up during periods of transition, like changing careers, moving to a new city, or taking a personal risk. The higher you fall from, the bigger the stakes feel in your waking life. Message: you may fear that if you make the wrong move, everything will collapse. Slipping and falling, slipping unexpectedly, on ice, stairs, or while walking, points to a loss of balance or confidence. It can suggest that you're not feeling grounded or stable in some area of life. This might be emotional instability or a situation that seems safe, but is now proving unpredictable. Message: you're trying to maintain control, but something small has shaken your footing. Falling in the dark. If you're falling in darkness or through black space, this reflects uncertainty and the fear of the unknown. It often appears when you feel directionless, lost, or unsure about where you're headed, whether emotionally, spiritually, or professionally. Message: you may be in the middle of a life change and afraid of what you can't yet see. Free falling without fear. Interestingly, some people experience falling dreams that feel peaceful or even liberating. These are less about fear and more about letting go. You're releasing the need for control and trusting the process of life. It's a powerful shift from anxiety to surrender. Message: you may be ready to release what no longer serves you and open yourself to transformation. Falling but never landing. This is one of the most common variations and one of the most telling. You fall endlessly, but you never hit the ground. This often symbolizes ongoing stress, unresolved issues, or a situation that feels like it has no resolution. The lack of impact reflects your feeling of being stuck in a problem you can't control or fix. Message: you may be caught in a loop of anxiety or self-doubt that needs attention. Watching someone else fall. If you witness someone else falling in your dream, especially someone you care about, it could reflect your fear of losing that person or anxiety about their well-being. Alternatively, it might represent a part of yourself that you projected onto them, your inner child, your ambition, or your vulnerability. Message: you're carrying worry or emotional responsibility for someone else's journey, or part of your own. Falling and then flying. This powerful twist often suggests a personal breakthrough. The fall begins as fear or chaos, but then transforms into flight. Freedom, power, transcendence. It represents a shift from fear to trust, from control to transformation. Message: you are on the verge of turning your greatest fear into a new kind of strength. Each falling dream variation is like a different voice in your subconscious, trying to show you where you feel unsafe, unsure, or unsupported, and where you have the opportunity to rise. Because sometimes the fall isn't the end. It's the beginning of flight. If you've had this dream once, it may just be a reflection of daily stress. But if it keeps coming back, night after night, month after month, it's a sign your mind is trying to deliver a message you haven't fully heard yet. Let's look at some practical steps to decode, process, and even transform your falling dreams. Keep a dream journal. It might sound simple, but writing down the details of your dreams right after waking can help uncover emotional patterns. Where are you falling from? How did it feel? Were you alone? Did you land or wake up midair? Over time, you may notice that falling dreams appear during stressful weeks, difficult conversations, or when you're avoiding something in your waking life. Tip: don't just record what happened. Write how it made you feel. Explore what you're trying to control. Falling often comes from fear of letting go. Ask yourself, what am I trying to control in my life right now? Is something slipping away that I'm afraid to face? Am I holding on to a situation that's no longer secure? The falling dream is your subconscious showing you that something is already unstable, and pretending it isn't won't fix it. Reflection. Control can create the illusion of safety, but sometimes letting go is the safest thing you can do. Practice grounding and mindfulness. If falling dreams are waking you up in fear, bring grounding techniques into your daily routine. Walk barefoot in nature. Meditate while focusing on your breath and body. Use weighted blankets to create a sense of safety during sleep. Grounding helps your nervous system feel supported, reducing anxiety both while awake and during dreams. Practice. Before bed, place your hands over your chest and say, I am safe. I am supported. I am letting go. Turn the fall into a flight, lucid reframing. If you become aware you're dreaming, a state called lucid dreaming, you can shift the narrative. The next time you feel yourself falling, try to stay calm. Imagine wings. Imagine the wind holding you up. Choose to fly. This exercise, even if done just as a visualization during the day, can reprogram your response to fear and teach your subconscious that freedom is possible. Symbolism shift. What if falling isn't failure, but the beginning of freedom? Examine recent failures or fears. Falling dreams often come during moments when we feel like we're failing or might fail soon. This could be tied to job performance, a relationship that's changing, a personal decision you're second-guessing, feeling judged or unsupported. Instead of ignoring that pressure, face it head-on. Make a plan. Talk to someone. Sometimes, naming the fear out loud is all it takes to reduce its power. Insight. You don't have to fall alone. You don't have to land hard. But you do need to look down and take control of your next step. Daily reflection. When we dream of falling, it doesn't mean we're weak. It means we've reached a moment where something must change. Falling feels terrifying because it challenges the part of us that wants to always be in control. But growth doesn't come from clinging. It comes from trusting, even when we can't see the ground. So ask yourself today, what am I afraid to lose? What would happen if I let go and trusted the fall? The moment you stop fighting gravity, you may realize you were always meant to fly. Thanks for watching. Falling dreams can be intense, scary, and confusing, but they don't have to remain a mystery. Whether you're facing pressure at work, struggling with personal fears, or simply going through a time of change, your subconscious is using the language of dreams to get your attention. If you had a falling dream before, share it in the comments. Where were you falling from? How did it make you feel? Was it just one time, or has it been repeating lately? Your story might help someone else realize they're not alone. And remember, falling in a dream doesn't always mean you're failing. It might mean you're letting go. You're shifting. You're transforming. Sometimes the scariest part is the beginning of flight. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode. We break down one dream each week, helping you unlock the hidden messages your mind is sending while you sleep. Sweet dreams. And next time you fall, ask yourself, what am I ready to release?